You've done this 1,000 times. A glass, a pour, a toast feels modern, casual, almost meaningless. But this ritual is older than the wheel, older than writing. Some scientists even argue humans didn't start farming to make bread. We started farming to keep the beer coming. And it gets stranger. The story of alcohol doesn't start with humans at all. It starts millions of years earlier in the treetops with your ancestors getting drunk on rotting fruit. So, who exactly were they? And what were they drinking? So, here's the real question today. Not when was beer invented? Did we choose alcohol or did alcohol choose us? The deeper you dig, the more it looks like the second one. And it starts with your own liver. Around 10 million years ago, a single mutation appeared in your family tree. One edit in a gene called ADH4, the gene that breaks down alcohol in your liver. That mutation made it roughly 40 times more efficient at metabolizing ethanol. Biologist Robert Dudley at UC Berkeley found this same mutation in humans, chimpanzees, and gorillas, meaning it appeared in an ancestor we all share, only in the apes who lived on the forest floor, eating fallen, overripe, already fermenting fruit. Your body was rebuilt to handle alcohol millions of years before humans existed. Dudley calls this the Drunken Monkey Hypothesis. Your taste for a drink isn't a modern weakness, it's an ancient inheritance. But an inherited taste is one thing. Actually brewing it on purpose is another. So when did humans first cross that line? For decades, the assumption was simple. Farming came first, beer came second, an accident. Then in 2018, Stanford archaeologist Li Liu examined stone mortars from Raqefet Cave near Haifa, Israel. They belong to the Natufians, hunter-gatherers who lived there over 13,000 years ago. No farms, no villages, no agriculture. Yet the residue showed malted grain, mashed, heated, and fermented. A deliberate recipe. The same 3 steps a brewer follows today. Humans were engineering alcohol thousands of years before the first crop was ever planted. Which flips the whole story. Wild grain is barely worth harvesting for food. Low calories, hard to digest raw. But fermented, it becomes calorie-dense, mood-altering, and shareable. Worth the labor of farming. That's the beer before bread hypothesis, taken seriously by archaeologists for decades. And here's the part that hits hardest. The beer at Raqefet Cave wasn't found at a party site. It was found at a burial site. One of the very first things humans did with fermentation was use it to mourn, to sit with grief, together, and make it bearable. A grieving tribe in one cave is a moment, but what happens when you check if anyone else on Earth was doing the same thing? Once that door opened, it opened everywhere, independently. China, 9,000 years ago. Rice and wildflower beer, buried with the dead in ritual, found by archaeologist Jia Jingwang. China again, 7,000 BCE. At Jiahu, chemist Patrick McGovern found jars mixing rice, honey, and hawthorn, or grape, a deliberate formula. The Republic of Georgia, 6,000 BCE. Grape-carved jars at Gedatrili Gora. Among the earliest large-scale winemaking on record. Cultures with zero contact with each other. Same idea. Every time, take something ordinary, let it transform, share it with people you love or people you've lost. That's not coincidence. That's instinct. Why does one drink loosen an entire room? Researchers studying social bonding, including work tied to Oxford's Robin Dunbar, link alcohol to the same endorphin release triggered by laughing, singing, and dancing. It chemically lowers your guard around other people. Every cheers you've ever made is your brain doing something it's done for over 10,000 years. Bonding, not escaping. But here's the heavier part. Your ancestors met alcohol diluted, around 1 to 2%, wrapped inside actual fruit. Rare, effortful, almost always social. Today it's stripped bare, beer at 5%, spirits at 40%, available constantly, consumed alone. Scientists call this an evolutionary mismatch, an ancient instinct dropped into a world it was never built for. So, when did ancient humans start drinking alcohol? The honest answer is unsettling. We didn't start. We never really stopped. 10 million years ago, a mutation rewired an ape's liver to survive rotting fruit. 13,000 years ago, grieving hunter-gatherers turned that inheritance into ritual. Brewing beer to sit beside their dead and feel for a moment less alone. Tonight, somewhere, someone will pour a drink at a wedding, a funeral, or just a long Tuesday. Repeating a gesture older than language itself. We didn't invent alcohol. We inherited the want for it. The only question left is the one we get to answer every time we choose to pour or not. Now that we know why we want it, what do we do with that? If this changed how you see something this ordinary, send it to the one friend who's going to bring it up at dinner tonight. Subscribe for the next rabbit hole. It's next.